But until we get to that, another subject I want to talk about is the truth about Dabo's portal strategy is he believes that he don't need a portal strategy. He's never going to change. Kind of like that Drive-By Truckers song. If y'all ever heard Drive-By Truckers, I love me some Drive-By Truckers, especially when Jason Isbell was part of the band. You know, Daddy used to empty out his shotgun shells and fill them full of Black Eyed Peas. You know, he that type because he ain't never going to change. You know why he ain't never going to change? Because his way has been working. That's why. Clemson is the only team in the country to be ranked inside the AP top 25 and in the top 25 in graduation rates for the past 13 straight years. So that man wants to get him in, and he wants to graduate him, and he wants to grow him that way. They only had 12 players leaving the portal, which is remarkable given what the last cycle was like for everybody else, which is carnage. These guys show up, and they want to be Clemson Tigers, and they want to stay Clemson Tigers for the most part. And he gave a great quote to ESPN, and I thought David Hale did a great job of kind of outlining this. First, he went on about it on Twitter, and then he wrote about it for the site. We've done it in a unique way, Dabo said. Now people want to go and do it some other way. They've lost their friggin' mind. I'm not doing it another way. Everything doesn't go the way you want it every single time, but that doesn't mean you get away from what your foundation is, what you believe. I mean, all right, cool. But after losing 7 of your last 15 against Power 4 opponents, maybe you want to change your face system. I'm saying? Maybe you want to try something different, just a little bit, just tweak it. I'm not saying you got to go to a whole different face system, but maybe you want to get to a multi-denominational spot rather than your Methodist spot. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you want to go to Southern Baptist route for a little bit after going the First Baptist route. Options. You know what I'm saying? Because this, in the words of the dude, will not stand, man. That ain't who Clemson wants to be. That ain't who Clemson thinks it should be. Some of that is your fault, Dabo, because he said this last year to Tyler from Spartanburg. He said, the expectation has not met the appreciation. And you know what? He got a point. Because before Dabo, last time they won a national championship was 1981. Since Dabo, they won a national championship 2 times in the last 8 years. Only Bama and Georgia can say that. That's it. Those are it. But when you get beat down the way he got beat down by Georgia, and you say that Georgia does that to a lot of people, that is debilitating. That is not going to get it done. And as much as we want to talk about the portal strategy for Dabo, as much as we want to hang this on not going into the portal and getting what you need to fill up the positions that you know you have a need for, he has, always been able to develop his guys into the dudes he needs to go win championships. And to his point, he says you can still win a championship without the portal. The margin for error is just smaller, and your flaws get much harder to hide. You know, like the flaw of missing out on your quarterbacks. Because that's the one. That's the one. You missed on DJ Uiagalelei. And after the same thing happened with DJ when you thought you had something. You thought you had something with Cade Klubnik, and you ain't. DJ Uiagalelei went for 439 and 3 TDs against a top 5 Notre Dame team on the road as a true freshman. We thought that boy had it. Nope. Cade Klubnik came up off the bench, led Clemson to an ACC title game. We thought that boy had it. Nope. So now he has missed on both of his quarterbacks. And the offensive coordinator that he had elevated, because he had a system of elevating his assistants into coordinator spots, he bounced out of town, Brandon Streeter, for Garrett Riley. 2 things on that. Brandon Streeter is an analyst at Georgia. Georgia beat Garrett Riley in Texas Christian, and they beat him again, Clemson. Other part about that is Garrett Riley has scored all of 10 points on Georgia's defense in 2 games. 7 at Texas Christian, where they got the beat down, 65-7 for the national championship. And then 3 against Georgia in the opener this year. Some tells me that when he has gone out of his comfort zone and hired somebody from afar, it ain't been working neither. So maybe it's a Dabo thing. But I do believe him The margin for error has gotten much smaller for Clemson because the way in which he was able to build those programs that won national championships, you can't do anymore. And if nobody told Dabo this, let me be the first to acknowledge, you won a national championship in 2018. Do you know what else became real in 2018? The damn transfer portal. Do you know what you haven't won since the transfer portal became real? A national championship. Either you get on with the times or the times going to get on with you. That's how these things work. College football is a competition with change. Not with the sport, not with each other, not with opponents, with change. Can you make it happen in chaos? Can you make it happen when nobody else seems to be able to make it happen? I love chaos. I love crisis. You know why? Because it brings my competitors down to me and me up to them. Because when everybody got to get it how they live, I know how to go get it. You were used to having a producer in your ear telling you what to do. Hand up, and doing this? Nah, they ain't. No. If they told me that we got name, image, and likeness, guess what? We going to have the best name, image, and likeness collective you ever heard about. Ask Missouri how that's working out for them. If they told me we're going to get a 2-minute warning, you just gave me an extra timeout. I'm going to make that work for me. If they told me that clock management is my deficiency, Lincoln Riley, I'm going to go get a Shane Beamer to take care of that. Going, hey, coach, call timeout right here. Acknowledge what you're good at. Acknowledge what your weaknesses are. Lean into your strengths. Let somebody else handle your weaknesses. Full stop. I say it often, but I say it often because I don't know that people make this connection. But I'm doing this show without a co-host. Doing the show with me. Many of my colleagues and my peers can't do this. They really need help. They can't finish segments. They can't come up with topics. They can't talk about the things that you want them to talk about. And yet here we are. I think Dabo can adapt. Matter of fact, I know Dabo can adapt. The problem, though, is Dabo's always been able to do it his way. Because remember, this is a man who was in college sleeping in the same bed as his mama and made it happen. It's a man who never needed to be a coordinator before he was a head coach and turned Clemson into a winner on his will. And Clemson's campus got more students than they got folks that live in the city. I mean, Clemson, South Carolina is a dot on the map. And he has turned them into a national power. If for no other reason, he is in the upper echelon of coaches for all time. I mean, it ain't that much distance between him and Nick Saban. And Nick Saban is the greatest college football coach of all time. Given what he was given to start with, and given what he has grown that program into, nothing but respect. Nothing. But he does need to change up how he's going to do this if he expects to keep winning at the highest level. And I do mean winning national championships.